The one and only JT Foxx.
JT Foxx is one of the most incredible people. He is so spirited, he's anxious, he's young.
Every time I'm out, JT Foxx pulls me back in.
There's a lot of people that talk about success, but he's the real deal.
I think that's what success is all about. It's your network equals your net worth. There's no like second place in business. It's you win or you're not.
How would Mr. JT Foxx start over?
First of all, you establish a brand. That's the most important. Number two, I would surround myself with.
Welcome, the one and only JT Foxx. Thank you very much for your time. I very much appreciate it. Millions to billions in 2025 has a pretty good ring to it. In your latest podcast with Adam Coffey, number 127, you've got two powerhouse, high nine-figure entrepreneurs. And you talk through how to scale fast and exit wealthy. Why at this stage of your career are you looking to change your battlefields and really double down in the world of roll-ups?
Well, the same way you did a pivot. We all, entrepreneurs that are obsessed with becoming the best version of ourselves just can't settle. I love Australia. It's one of my favorite countries in the world. And I feel that there's a lot of entrepreneurs there that achieve a level of success, whether professionally in their career or business, and they stop. And, I could keep doing the same thing I'm doing, but, I had a record year this year, but I was on the road like almost 287 days. And it's not sustainable when in 1 week you can be in, Australia, New Zealand, Dubai, San Diego, Connecticut, Miami, and you spend 60 hours on a flight in 1 week. It's just not sustainable. Not that I'm not healthy or anything like that. I think there's the art of the challenge of coming down the mountain. Sometimes you can be like comfort, and comfort is the enemy of success. So I was like, you know what? Let's do some deals.
I like that comfort. Now, with that comfort comes a lot of challenges, failures. You've recently written a book called Business is War and Conquering Success by Mastering Failures. They also say success leaves clues and genius learn from others' mistakes. So if we could give people listening a bit of a genius superpower today and give them some knowledge from you, what's one of your greatest failures that has taught you the greatest lesson?
Well, I always have been loyalty 24/7, 365 and never be loyal to the opportunity. But also too, I think now that I wrote my first book, Millionaire Underdog, which was 10 years ago. And when I read it now, it's not really what I would do today. Although it's really good, I think. But I think Business is War is this concept of we learn nothing from success, but we learn everything from failure. And too many times we'll ask people, how did you do it? Well, how I do it is very different than how I would do it today. I think the market is faster, social media, the ability to be on Zoom. This interview wouldn't have never been possible, 10 years ago. There was just no avenue like that. And so you have to pivot and you have to change with the times. And, the idea of Business is War is you either get the client, somebody else gets the client. You get the deal or somebody else gets the deal. Like there's no like second place in business, right? It's you win or you're not. So that's the idea. And more often than not, it's the change of positioning.
With that, you brought up branding, which I wanted to talk to you about because you are a powerhouse when it comes to branding, marketing. But what I do like most about you is you're not afraid to challenge if you disagree with someone, especially on social media. So a lot of people say outsource your weaknesses. You actually say double down on your weaknesses. And you have openly said that branding used to be one of your weaknesses. So I liked your question to Mr. Tommy Hilfiger about if you were starting over, what would you do? So how would Mr. JT Foxx start over if he had to? Top 3 steps to start over to do your branding all over again? Because you feel...
Today? Yeah, today, but obviously, branding is, for example, I get asked, hundreds of times each week to be on a podcast. I say, no, obviously said yes. You invited at my conference, you spoke, and it's such a great job. I interviewed you about the success that you have in front of the world's most successful people, including Kevin Costner. Although we also had Rick Hoffman, which was lit, and then you have Harvey Specter in the background. So I hope he doesn't see your interview. You should probably put that picture right next to there because you actually did get a chance to meet him. First of all, you establish a brand. That's the most important thing. And all brands are created going out there, whether it's stage or celebrities or results, and too many people, it's like, well, buy me, buy me, buy me. It's not about buy me. It's like, what can you do for the other person? I think there's too many people who have this expectation of hire me and then I'll prove it to you. No, sometimes you have to prove it before they hire you. And it's the world we live into. It's very competitive. Number two, I would surround myself with high net worth individuals or people more successful than me. This morning, I had a meeting with a group. It's a 9-figure group, but you have to be 9-figure. And they've turned down 42 people. It's extremely expensive. It's like $180,000 a year. So it's very, very expensive. And obviously, you know, so they're kind of like interviewing you. I was like, I'm being interviewed to pay $180,000. But two of the members, and one of them was at the event I was, and then ironically, the other one happened to be part of the event. And I realized just the quality of people there. You know, I think there's like 400 9-figure high net worth people in the group, including 13 billionaires. Like that's where I want to be. Now, we say, JT, that's a lot of money. Well, you know, relationship, it's where it's at. Like, how else am I going to meet that many people? And I think that's what people don't understand. It's not how much money it costs, it's how much it's going to make you. And one person in that group can literally change your life forever. Add for, you know, I think there's a policy of the group that whoever they have that says, like, you know, you have an issue or a problem, or if you call them within 24 hours, they get back to you. And if, as long as it's reason, they could say yes. And that's like amazing. And that's what successful people add value. Now, I haven't been accepted yet to fill out the application and go through the interview. But two of the members, I think, you know, kind of know me, so it's not going to be as difficult, but, you know, so hopefully I get it. But I think that's what success is all about. It's your network equals your net worth.
Networking, adding value back to everyone. So you, I mean, and you've been pretty successful with networking up. You've done it, it appears, your whole life, which has helped you get to where you are today. So were you super persistent in getting your first coach over the line, or why did you go so deep into getting the coaches to get you where you are? Why?
Well, everyone said to me, like, we all need heroes, models, and coaching. It's like anything. Like, you know, why do people have teachers? Why don't they teach themselves sports? Why do we go at all? We could just YouTube it. And it doesn't work that way. We need people to push yourself outside the comfort level. So why not go to people who've done it? Say, do this, don't do this, partner this person. And, you know, how effective could that be? And I think a lot of people want to do it themselves. It's just like, would you rather spend, you know, $1,000 from someone who knows exactly what to do on social media in terms of ads, do it, and it works, and you made, you know, 25,000, or take 10,000, blow it, never works, say marketing and branding doesn't work, it's a waste of money, and then spend your rest of your life in referrals. You know, like coaching is a shortcut to anything, right? But I was also not coaching. Like, I had one coach. It's like saying, you know, I had one golf lesson and then I could play. It doesn't work that way. It's always in a continuum. Constantly
practicing business, I believe it is, isn't it?
That's really what it is. Most people don't practice business. It's a good point.
Yeah. So, and in your events, you're very generous. A lot of the time, you will get the celebrities that you've networked with and brought on, and you'll get them to sign ties, and you'll give away to their charities or your own. What's your preferred charity of choice for people out there, and why do you do that?
Well, the more you give, the more you get. And there's also some strategy. You know, you're adding value to somebody else's charity. One, it's for a good cause. And second, it makes me look like a good guy, that, wow, this guy cares. And then it benefits us, it benefits my clients, and be part of that community as well. And, you know, often it's not what's important to me. I mean, what's important to me is obviously children with cancer is very important to me because I find them innocent, but more so it's other people's charity. And there's always an emotional attachment for someone, you know, maybe Alzheimer's, they had a family member, or maybe, you know, cystic fibrosis, or there's just so many different things. And the problem is that people like to be passionate what they're about. I just want to add value to people and their specific cause. And if I can make that difference, then it makes all the difference in the world.
I really like that. You know a lot of just everyone, the diversity of the people you know, from the A-list celebrities, the billionaires.
Someone just said that to me this morning. You know everybody. Like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, your little black book would be very interesting to go through. So if I was to say, I like to talk to people who like to dive deep, double down, and get obsessed with things. I like people who master their craft. People intrigue me. They frustrate me and intrigue me all at the same time. But I authentically do like to find out what makes them tick. If I could say to you, who can you introduce me to that is the best of the best in their craft, that really interests you to have on my podcast, who would it be, and what should be the first question I ask them?
any guest that has achieved a level of success is worth being on there, because the guests will appeal to different person and different things, and it's never everyone's interesting. I just did a podcast a few minutes ago with a guy I saw on YouTube and sorry, Instagram initially, and it's marketing versus branding. Great episode. And then
David's.
yeah. And the funny thing is, 2 hours later, he was like talking about, like, I said, I'm going to post it today. Like, I have a queue of like 12 podcasts that are there. I'm just going to post it today and build a relationship. And then I'm going to bring it to mega success. So, there's so many amazing people. So anybody I've had is interesting. So I think, if you know how to ask the right question, everybody can be interested, as long as you be master of the obvious. And so there's not one specifically, because once I do one, like, I'm on to the next one. So I never like redwell on anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I know it is very precious and it is worth a lot. So I am forever grateful for you taking some time out to actually talk to me today, JT
It's an
Foxx.
honor. You have a great show. And when you ask me, I always say no to people, but I want to say yes to you, because I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And it's an honor to have been on your show today. And I hope the audience got a lot of value.
Thank you. Thank you.